Oh, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of The Average Uninformed. This week, Josh and I are going to give you our top 3 movies / TV shows that we watched in 2019. So grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy.
It's a smooth gin, though. Okay. You ready for this, Victor?
Yeah, I'm ready for this. As ready as I'll ever be.
Good.
You like that? I've just stopped caring and it's just BJ's here now. And this is
you're
nice.
definitely just wearing sweaties. Mm-hmm. And no socks.
No socks. I hate socks. Worst thing in the world.
What?
I can't think of anything worse in the world.
You can't think of anything worse than socks?
Name one thing.
I'm sure, like, I don't know, all the people in Australia right now. I'm trying to get into my Australian accent. These wildfires, they're pretty terrible. But you know what's the worst? Socks. That's what they're like, right?
Have you ever stepped on an ember with socks on? Just sticks and it just burns through.
Why aren't you wearing shoes? Why are you just in sock feet? Maybe that's your issue. Put some shoes on.
I don't want to wear shoes in the house next to the fireplace. Not an idiot, Josh.
Clearly.
How are you, Josh?
What's that?
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm
trying to eat that
threatening
cookie.
to take a bite of this cookie.
Just do it.
All right.
How's your week been?
It's no good.
Answer the question. Oh yeah, so I've been looking at lightsabers. I don't know why.
Just like in pinup poses, like a magazine where in the foldouts.
I don't even know what kind of magazine you would get to get those like full page spreads.
Play saber. I'll see myself out.
Are you still waking up from that nap?
A little bit.
But there's a website called Saberforge, and you can like customize your own lightsaber. You can pick like the emitter, you can pick the handle, the base, the hilt. It's very tempting.
Just one quick question. Why?
Because they look awesome. Like they're made out of like metal. You get like a little wall mount from it. I think it'd be awesome. Just on the wall there, without the little like lightsaber portion of it. I just want like the handle because that's like the coolest looking part.
Yeah, display it on the wall. Mm-hmm. It's such a creative way to tell women to stay away.
Well, by the time they get to the bedroom, it's too late.
I don't know, Victor.
But point of the story, they start like the pieces are like $30 for like each piece. And I think you only need like 4 or 5 pieces to like basically assemble the lightsaber. I don't know how I managed it, but my lightsaber cost at the end was $470 US. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what the heck, Victor? Why are you spending that much on that?
I didn't spend it yet. Or shit. I didn't spend it on that one. Looking for birthday presents.
For myself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You never like have something you want and then you like kind of get yourself amped up for your birthday or something? Or your birthday's somewhere.
No, fortunately, I have people in my life who love me, so I tend to get what I want for my birthday. I don't have to buy it for myself.
I would never. I don't know. I feel terrible like asking for people to like get me something expensive.
Yeah, I would not ask for that much.
You know what I did ask for Christmas and no one got it for me because they thought it was a joke?
An enema?
No, Josh, you can't get me that. It's a private thing.
No, you can buy someone an enema.
There's a place around sorry, this is off topic, but there's a place around my apartment. You can get enemas there. And I think there's a coffee enema they were like advertising at one point in November.
Like an espresso?
It's pretty fast, yeah.
Americano. Just hot milk and coffee beans. Is that what Americano is? I don't drink coffee.
I don't either. I shouldn't drink coffee. I feel like I have enough energy as it is. What are we talking about? Shit.
You were playing with lightsabers or something.
I don't care anymore. The point is, holy crap, they're expensive.
Who would have thought that people could extort fans?
Yeah. Well, like I wanted these. Like I was looking at the Star Wars Force Unleashed, that Jedi you play as in that game. His lightsaber, really cool looking.
Wait, let's see if I can remember. I did play that game once.
I don't remember his name.
Something Star Killer.
Yeah, it was Star Killer. So wait, they named the thing that kills planets in episode 7 Star Killer Base.
They named it after him. It was like a tribute. Maybe he donated money. You know how you go to a hospital and it's like, you're in the Johnson wing.
But they named the entire thing after him.
It was a very generous donation, Victor. Yep.
There's a lot of gin in this.
Yes, there is. It's mostly gin, some would say.
Yours, definitely.
Victor, you want to get in some news?
Yeah, why not?
Do you want to hear the only non-comic book movie news I have?
Okay.
Here's what happened. I had a whole thing of news, and then I lost it. So I was just writing down the news quickly before you showed up tonight. So this is what I had remembered.
Like a child scribbling down his homework before class.
That's exactly how I did it. Knives Out 2, Victor?
What, really?
Mm-hmm. It's happening. Apparently, though, they're doing it the right way. And the only character who's going to be returning probably is Benoit Blanc. Is that how you say it?
Cool.
Sorry, it's Benoit. Benoit Blanc. Benoit. Seriously, Josh, come on.
You just wake up or something?
Benoit Blanc is going to return. So it'd be like a detective, like a Sam Spade anthology type series or something like that. Or
I like that you just brought up Sam Spade. Do you?
Name one other detective. I can't think of any.
Really?
Philip Marlowe. Is that his name?
Yeah. Sherlock Holmes?
Who?
You know, I read huge fan of those books, right? Is that the reason you brought those up?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I knew you'd get the reference.
Cool.
Because you're not a simpleton.
I mean, outside of that reference specifically, I generally miss them all.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that, Victor?
I'm excited. I hope. Because you can't do the same thing again with the same family.
No.
It'd be kind of cool. You do a bunch of mysteries like that. And then you get all the murderers into one room.
Do an Avengers version.
Yeah, but only one of them makes it out alive.
Except for they still have to fight off an alien invasion.
That one person has to.
Oh. Okay.
So they're all trying to die, but they're all each other's trying to prevent the other one from dying so that they don't have to be the one to fight. It's a stupid movie, Victor.
I like how we're just chastising ourselves instead of each other tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, switch it up once in a while. It's 2020.
Yeah, I would be into that. I hope it's completely different than the first one. I really loved the family of the first one, but I'd like it if it was a smaller mystery or you didn't have all these suspects immediately. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be the same.
Like a repeat. You don't want a classic Hollywood sequel.
Yeah.
Where it's the same thing, but.
He can definitely be solving a murder or something, but have the case set up differently where maybe he doesn't have as many suspects or doesn't have as many clues.
No suspects at all.
There you go. Yeah. Just take it in another direction.
Mm-hmm. But is it kind of weird that now it's Knives Out, but he doesn't have that giant wall of knives?
Well, maybe they'll just call it something else. You know how the Dirty Harry movies, each one has a completely different title and you wouldn't know Dirty Harry is in it unless you follow the series.
Gotcha. Or call it Knives In and the victim has just a bunch of knives in him.
I don't know. Whatever they name it, though, they have to do what they did in Knives Out and say the title of the movie at some point.
There's a bunch of knives in him.
He was a cool character, though. Cool detective. So I'd go see another one.
The accent was interesting.
This happened almost immediately before you showed up tonight. Scott Derrickson has dropped out as director of Doctor Strange 2.
What?
It was almost it literally just dropped. So there's only one source for it. So I had to make sure it wasn't someone just
something spreading a rumor.
Yeah. So I went around and finally found Scott Derrickson's Twitter and he confirmed it. So the reason is the good old fashioned creative differences. But he is still going to serve as executive producer on the movie.
Did he do the first one?
He did do the first one.
Oh, weird.
And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, they're still aiming to hit their starting film date, which is May, I think, of this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's not a lot of time to find a new director.
That's not a good... I mean, it's Marvel now. I feel like everyone's clamoring to get into that slot, right?
Yeah, but it's a little different in that position. It's not the same as the actor dropped out. Let's find someone else. Mm-hmm. There's a great deal of preparation involved and he helped write it and stuff. My theory is he really wanted to up the horror elements and Marvel was pushing back on that. Because he talked about Scott Derrickson at Comic-Con was it's going to be the first Marvel horror movie. And then someone in the crowd was rated R. And then Kevin Feige, it's going to be PG-13 and you'll like it.
Jeez, that's aggressive.
And then there was a Q&A with Kevin Feige last month.
Mm-hmm.
And someone asked him specifically about Doctor Strange 2 as it pertains to like being a horror movie. And he said, well, it's actually not really a horror movie. It'll have horror sequences in it that will be scary, but
for the most part,
it's going to be the same as what it was. So I think that's probably the issue. I could be completely wrong, but that's...
I mean, if you go by that information, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway.
It's too bad. I was really looking forward to that. I hope it's going to be like more horror-y than Kevin Feige described, but I guess he is the head of all that. So
I think it's just more my own personal bias. I don't really like horror movies, especially the ones that Scott Derrickson has gotten famous for, like that style. Like,
what did he do?
Was it like Conjuring or something? Or maybe that was James Wan. I don't know, but it was like that style of movie, like the jump scares and like the horror demons and stuff like that, which is fine if you like that, but I don't personally like that style. So if that's the direction they were going, I'm kind of happy that there was pushback, at least that there was just gonna be like, no, you can have horror sequences, but the whole movie can't be scary. It's unfortunate. It's always sucks to see people leave, but at the same time, it's probably for the best if they can't come to a consensus on the direction of the movie. But yeah, and it also sounds like Doctor Strange is going to be like their big
he did
movie
Hellraiser
of the phase of what?
He did Hellraiser Inferno. Didn't you like the Hellraiser series?
I watched them. I wouldn't say I liked them.
Oh,
and Hellraiser Inferno, that's got to be like the 8th sequel or something like that.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well then, never mind.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, Doctor Strange. The rumors I'm hearing, and it sounds like it's going to be this phase's Civil War, where there's going to be lots of people in it. And so you kind of you want someone who is on board with what the studio wants a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Because they got Scarlet Witch in there, and apparently they're introducing some new people in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's been all sorts of rumors from Namor to like this week I heard Professor Xavier, which is probably a load of crap. So I imagine if they're going to go through the multiverse of madness, there's going to be all sorts of alternate versions of people as well. And
who's that alternate Thor with like the moose head guy?
Oh, Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, yeah, that'd be cool.
That leads us right into our next bit of news, Victor. Christian Bale apparently in talks for Thor 4.
Beta Ray Bill?
That's what people are saying. I think that's the only character people know from Thor who's left.
Oh, I don't know. There's no way he's going to play him.
No. There is talks, though, that they're hearing like that he's playing a mocap character. So that could be Beta Ray Bill because he has that horse face.
You think Christian Bale would like go for a non face reveal role?
I think if anything, he would be a villain.
The God Butcher?
What's his name? Gore?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do like I could see them doing him. They aped most of his powers for Hela in the last movie because he could like create weapons out of his bare hands like Hela did.
Yeah, but that's not really like an exclusive power. Can I say it's kind of unique?
Yeah. I mean, you can still do that without him having that power.
Yeah, it's not really his.
The other one I'm hearing, I can't remember his name. I think it's Egger, Dario Egger. He's a Minotaur. Or is a Minotaur half the time, like a Hulk situation, but has control of it.
I can't picture Christian Bale wanting to do anything that has like a ton of CG that covers his face.
Yeah, because he seems like a very classical guy, right? Like he
likes his FaceTime.
Well, not even that, but he just like he could easily do prosthetics for all these roles, and instead he's like, no, I'm going to gain 70 pounds, and then I'm going to lose 130.
Yeah, that'd be interesting because it's directed by Taika Waititi. That'd be an interesting combo.
I think maybe that's part of it too. Disney is paying the check, so it's like, yeah, I could do that for 6 months or whatever and get paid a couple $1 million. I could put up with that.
We're not paying Robert Downey Jr. anymore. No big deal.
Right. And then, Taika Waititi has got a rep now. And he's a fairly fun director to work with. So.
What was like Thor Ragnarok? What was the rumor that like 60% of the script was ad-libbed?
Yeah, something like that. I don't believe it, but they always say that. And the writer's like, F you.
The writer's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I know for a fact I wrote 72% of that script.
I did the math. So yeah, I don't know who he would play. I'm at kind of the end of my Thor knowledge, like as far as who they've introduced so far. So I don't know. I don't know who he would play.
So
yeah, the only characters left in my head are either female or there's no way Christian Bale they would cast Christian Bale for that.
Like the Serpent?
I was actually thinking of the Wrecking Crew.
Oh, he plays them all?
Yeah. I would like those would be perfect for a Taika Waititi movie. I would love to see the Wrecking Crew.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Aren't they like just a bunch of humans?
They were imbued with Asgardian
okay.
strength or something like that.
Gotcha.
It could be a mocap role though. If it's still him, but they're adding like all this like bulk to him.
Mm-hmm.
That could maybe be it. Maybe he's Wrecker. I would love that.
What's wrong, Christian Bale? You can't put on muscle? Huh? Yeah,
not that kind of. He has to look like. They have to look dumb. They have to look like Mr. Hyde from LXG.
What, you too smart to look stupid, Christian Bale? Huh? Huh? You can look skinny. You can look fat. You can't look stupid.
Man. I hope he's playing Wrecker now. I'm going to be disappointed when he's not.
I guarantee you're going to be disappointed.
Yep, for sure. Anyway, we should move on.
Yes.
So the rest of what I have here is all rumor, but it's pretty interesting if it's true.
Oh.
So first rumor is Marvel may have quietly reacquired the rights to Hulk and Namor from Universal.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that could mean that they could do a Hulk solo series of movies if they wanted to. They would then have permission to use Namor. I wasn't really sure why they weren't before. My understanding was always that it was like Hulk, where they had the film rights but not the distribution rights.
Mm-hmm.
But
that is strange.
Yeah. So anyway,
I also don't know how a lot of that works. So
no.
But you think with like Fox and Sony like pitching in, you think Universal will be like, yeah, all right, we want a cut of that. Here's the characters you want. Give us some money.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the rumor. There's no way to know that until someone announces it.
Yeah, fair.
But could be cool. Namor has been now rumored to be in Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, a Fantastic Four movie.
They're all true.
His own movie. Like he could pop up anywhere.
He's going to have a lot of movies to do.
Well, especially because like they're not going to be able to do a 3-movie trilogy with Namor as much as he probably deserves to be a main character. It's just too similar to Aquaman, and DC beat them to the punch. So
yeah. Is Namor really that interesting?
You know what? No.
Maybe it's because he's got all that technology, that Atlantean technology.
You know what? To be honest, I have never read a single Namor comic book. Only times I've ever read him is him showing up, having a misunderstanding with a hero, and
butting heads.
Yeah, them just fighting for the issue, only for it to be figured out at the end. And he's like, "Oh, so that wasn't you who hit my car?
Oh, so I'm the dick? Okay." Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a Namor comic on the store shelves. He's probably like tucked away in the corner somewhere where nobody goes.
Yeah, I doubt he has his own. He's had his own book for a long, long time.
But anyway, embarrassing that like Squirrel Girl has a comic and he doesn't.
Have you read a Squirrel Girl? She's amazing, Victor.
No, I haven't.
No, neither have I. Next rumor, Victor. The rumor is that Marvel has gotten special permission. You know, when you read this right after the other one, it sounds very fan made up. Mm-hmm. But okay, anyway, Marvel has gotten special permission to start using the Netflix characters before the rights issue has run out.
Oh, cool.
So if that is true, that means that they could start throwing them into movies that they're going to start filming. Mm-hmm. I don't think they could.
Same actors and actresses, or just the characters themselves?
Just the characters for sure. I don't know what Marvel's plan is, or whether they want to fold that into their continuity, or if they'll maybe pick and choose people, like take Charlie Cox, but tell Finn Jones to take a hike.
Yeah.
Which is what I would
martial artist dude.
Yeah. So I don't know what that plan is, but my immediate thought was, I wonder if Iron Fist would show up in Shang-Chi. By the way, I found out it's not Shang-Chi, it's Shang-Chi.
False.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
Shang-Chi.
I heard that someone involved with the production say Shang-Chi.
Yeah, but like,
what do they know? They're making the movie.
Bunch of idiots.
Anyway, so yeah, that was my immediate thought. Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. There's been rumors that Daredevil would show up in Spider-Man 3, but
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a good duel. I like those two together. Although in the comics, they're very different in the comics compared to the movies. So I don't know if that would mesh with the Spider-Man.
Daredevil is pretty close to how he is. Like the Netflix Daredevil is pretty close to how he is in the comics.
Yeah, but this Spider-Man is very different from the Spider-Man in the comics.
Same amount of quip.
Yeah.
I guess it depends who's writing them.
Yeah, that's true.
Last thing, Victor, we got some trailers we can talk about before we get into stuff. We do. Why is there no time?
Like the present?
Yes. What do you want to talk about first, Victor?
Let's do Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. So there's a trailer today for Birds of Prey. Official trailer at number dos. It's coming out in February. What did you think of this trailer, Victor?
It's fine.
Okay.
Not excited. Didn't up the excitement at all for me.
It's starting to get me a little interested.
What was it? The black mask? Getting a black mask?
A little bit. No, it's just the feel of it. Like, I think it's like when someone who annoys you comes to live with you, and just after a while you learn to love them. You know, at
you
first,
telling me something?
It's just slowly wearing me down a little bit. Like, I don't really love the character of Harley Quinn. I don't love that she's the main character, but as I'm seeing more of the movie, I'm starting to see what they're going for. And it's very Deadpool-esque, which again is another character I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't know. It's wearing me down. I'm starting to get a little excited. Ewan McGregor looks like he's having lots of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not dreading it, but like I'm not excited for it either.
It just looks like it's not, I don't know, like from that explosion at the beginning where she like throws the truck into Ace Chemicals plant. It feels like from then on, it's like Harley's perception of the world and not actually Gotham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like even throughout the trailer, she's talking about events, but the events are not lining up with what she's saying. How she and Joker broke up and she's doing really well, but then it's like a scene of her crying miserably while eating junk food.
That could just be lazy writing. Cliches.
So I feel like what she's narrating or what we're seeing is not reflecting what's actually happening, perhaps.
Fair.
I don't know.
Turns out she's just in like a crazy hole by herself, tied up in a vest.
She never left wherever she was.
Arkham Asylum?
I don't think they were in Arkham in Suicide Squad.
All right. No, she broke out, didn't she?
At the end, Joker shows up. Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to it per se, but my interest is there. It has my attention. I mean, It is the next comic book movie, so.
Yeah, I guess it is. Shame.
Moving on. Let's go New Mutants. Victor, what did you think of New Mutants?
New Mutants, actually, I'm a little excited for this one. This movie has been in production, or it's been finished filming for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I think so.
So they've held on to this for a while, because the first time we saw a trailer was a couple of years ago. And like, I wasn't too excited, but like after seeing this one, it looks very interesting because it's a very different movie from the rest of the superhero movies that we've seen before. This definitely has horror elements to it, at least from the trailer, at least what they've just shown us. But
it does look scary.
So, and like I like the actors and actresses in it. Like that guy from Stranger Things. I can't remember his name.
Something Byers.
Yeah, Will's brother. He's in it. And like I'm kind of curious to see how he plays in this role because I've only ever seen him in Stranger Things. Same with whoever's playing Magic seems pretty interesting because I don't know anything about that character. But
you like that actress though. We've talked about her before in other reviews, and you're like, ooh, I like her.
Nice.
Yeah, her name is Anna Taylor-Johnson, I think. No, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Sounds made up. 100%. I don't remember what movie she was in before.
I think it was Glass and Split.
Oh, that's her? Oh shit.
Did you mention the Game of Thrones girl? Because I was blanked out trying to think of his name from Stranger Things.
Yeah, the girl from Game of Thrones. I can't remember her name.
It's not Sansa. Arya.
Arya, that's it. I thought you were going to come up with like the actress's name, but Arya's fine.
No, I don't know her name. I never watched the show. I only
She's pretty good in the show. I really liked her. She was probably one of my favorite characters in that show. Right. I'm not like, I don't know anything about her. Like I don't know a lot about any of these characters in this movie. But based on what they've shown, I'm interested enough to be excited.
Well, yeah, they kind of picked and chose the best New Mutants that were on the team over the years. So it looked like they had Sunspot and Cannonball, Wolfsbane, Magic, and Moonstar. I want to say the Native American chick is.
Wolfsbane. Is that the one that has like the animals?
She's basically a werewolf.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Is there a New Mutant that has like that can generate like armor around them?
It's Magic. Unless you're thinking like much later on, there is a character called Armor. who can create psi armor.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's very on the nose.
It wasn't taken. So yeah, because Magic creates like this. She summons armor from another dimension.
Seems high maintenance.
Onto her arm. Mm-hmm. I hope like she's a great actress. Actually, all these actors and actresses are great. I don't know if I'd have to see a movie first of whether they would incorporate it into the MCU.
Probably not.
I would want those those actors playing those characters in the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I like all of them. Like
but probably not. Probably not.
Why would they?
Yeah. So
Kevin Feige, you didn't pick them. They ain't staying.
That's right. He just kicks directors out all the time. He don't like no horror. Get out, Scott Derrickson. Yeah, I'm interested in it though. Like I don't like scary movies, so and it looks very scary.
Does it?
Not like very scary. Sorry, I should say it looks very jump scary. Which is
they showed like what 2 in the trailer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what I'd rather watch at home with the lights on, with subtitles on, so I remember I'm watching a movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it looks good. I like the New Mutants.
I know nothing about them.
Oh, okay. They're X-Men-ish.
I thought they were called the Runaways for a while.
No, that's a completely different comic.
Good.
Yep. Anyway, any other thoughts?
No.
Nope.
When's that coming out?
April? I don't know. You were the one just reading which movies were coming out.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not put my memory on trial here.
I have to. We do it every week, but you never remember.
Ah, shit. All right. You want to jump into topic of the week?
Yeah, let's do it. So, Victor, it's the beginning of 2020. So now that 2019 is done, we can look back at the movies we saw this year.
Last year,
and talk about our favorites. So let's do it, I guess.
But not just movies, like anything we've seen, right? So
I guess so.
TV shows.
She's reading a good
movies.
book. You know how to read, right?
What?
Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together to form a sentence.
What? What is that? Who wants to go first?
I think I have more than you.
Yes, you 100% do.
So wait, I can go first.
I thought we were doing top 3.
Well, we're doing top 3, but I have some honorable mentions that we don't have to talk about.
Good. I don't want to hear about
extended fashion. Well, first off, I really liked The Chef Show on Netflix. This is Jon Favreau's cooking show that he had.
Oh, yeah.
So this was, as I said, it's on Netflix. It's Jon Favreau, and I believe the chef with him is Roy Coy. It's been a while since I watched it. I apologize. But anyway, basically what the show is they just have a random guest on the show, and they're either going somewhere to meet them, or they have them come to Jon Favreau's kitchen. Mm-hmm. And
ridiculous kitchen, by the way. And it's so pretty.
Yeah. And they just talk while they make a meal together, and then they eat it. And it's really interesting because it's kind of like a cooking show, because they do talk about what they're cooking and how to cook it and what to look for and stuff like that. But it's also, it's not like something that you would follow step by step. You're more there for the conversation. And so it's interesting because Jon Favreau he loves cooking, and he's been hooked up with Roy Choi. I hope his name is Roy Choi. Since he made the film Chef, like that was his mentor on the film to make sure all the cooking looked approximately real. Mm-hmm. And so they basically just come together, and often they don't know what they're going to make, and they just jump in and with the ingredients that they have and make something. Like there's all sorts of great episodes. There's one where they went to Skywalker Ranch, and they made an entire meal based off what they could find on the ranch.
Oh, cool.
And so Skywalker Ranch is like tricked out though, with like, it has a huge garden. It actually
has everything.
They had everything.
Went to a garden with everything in it.
Basically, yeah. But still, they did not know what they were going to make before they got there. You know, and then they go to like famous chefs as well. And like they go to like their home restaurant where they spend every day being the head of a kitchen. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, so what are we going to make? And then they let Jon Favreau cook in their kitchen for the day.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And what's great about
free labor.
Yeah, exactly. And what's great about it is like Jon Favreau loves cooking so much. So he asks questions, and he asks all the questions that I would ask. Like Roy would be like, yeah, you want to knead it, the dough like this or whatever. And he'd be like, well, why would you knead it instead of doing it like this? And he'd be like, well, and then he'd explain why or whatever. Or don't add the butter yet. You want to add it now, because if you add it now, then it'll do this or whatever. And so it's kind of like getting cool tips for cooking instead of actually following along and cooking with them.
That's kind of cool.
And you also get to see like exquisite foods and stuff like that, and like how difficult or how easy it is to make said foods.
I always feel bad watching cooking shows because like I love cooking, but I'm so lazy when it comes to like making dishes that take more than an hour or like that require more than like 5 ingredients.
Yeah. Some of the stuff on there, they're like cooking meat overnight. I'd be like, I couldn't do that. Or like anything that involves actual flames and not a stove.
But that's like, I would love a gas stove. It just makes cooking so much awesome.
They're doing it with
more enjoyable.
Like a stone oven, like with coals and stuff like that. And you're like, I can't do that.
Okay.
And lots of celebrity guests. There's one where they go to a restaurant. I think it was while they were filming Avengers Infinity War or Endgame. So it's like, I think it's like Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr.
I remember seeing that episode.
There's one where he goes to Gwyneth Paltrow's house. There's one where Seth Rogen comes on. Bill Burr is on for an episode.
They made sandwiches that time, right?
It made grilled cheese.
Yeah. It was like 5 cheese grilled cheese.
Yeah. And then
that was the episode. That was the first episode I watched.
Yeah. It's just an interesting show. I really liked it. Anyway, do you have one, Victor? Do you have a runner-up?
A runner-up?
Or just something you liked watching? Or are you just going straight into your top 3?
I was going to go, are you in your top 3?
No, I'm still in runners-up, baby.
Runners-up? Okay. I want to say Jack Ryan season 2.
Oh, okay.
I know. Surprise, right?
I would have put that in your top 3.
Right? Yeah.
Knowing you and your affinity for John Krasinski's abs.
Oh, wait, okay, that's not the reason.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Okay. I don't need to confirm nor deny. No, I don't know. The show was really good. First season was awesome. I think it made my top 3 last year. But this year it was good. But I think there was just a lot better on my list that topped it. But no, the season was good too. I don't want to spoil it, but like it kind of changes up the formula a little bit. So it doesn't just take the sequel approach and just do the same thing again. It's new location, new characters. I don't know, it's just interesting. It's a pretty fast paced season. And like you're with Jack for majority of it. Unlike last season, you kind of jumped around quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like mostly his season then instead of.
Well, last season you kind of split between like the villain, his family, and him. And like there was another thing. Like, well, this season you're still split, but like it definitely felt like you were with Jack for more than you were last season.
Okay. And Wendell Pierce still in it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wait, have you seen any of?
I watched the first episode with you. Not got around to the rest of it.
Season 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you are missing out.
I'm sure I am. I'm missing out on a lot, man.
Speaking of having kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, it's one of those shows that I think understands how many episodes it needs to tell a story tell the story efficiently without just having a bunch of filler episodes. Yeah, I appreciate that. What about you? Another one on your list?
Have you seen Paw Patrol? No, that's okay, I got one for you.
I know it was a joke, but yes, I have.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah. The only reason it's not one of my favorites is rewatching it again. You're just kind of waiting for the Mysterio reveal. And so that first hour or so is kind of a slog. But after he shows up, you're like, ooh, it's like the best Spider-Man movie after that. but the first hour or so, you're kind of like, yeah.
I actually enjoyed the first hour.
Well, like the first time I watched it, I was like, this movie's amazing. I love it. But watching it again, I was like, oh, okay.
Because they're going through like the whole, like just recapping what happened to everyone at the end after the snap.
It's not that it's bad or anything like that. I say it's a slog, but it's just the second half of the movie is so good that you're just waiting for it.
Gotcha. Because you've seen the movie already.
Yeah.
All right. Fair.
Yeah. Got another one, Victor?
Yep. Knives Out.
Ooh, that's on one of mine too. I love Knives Out.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like it's one of those movies I don't know if I would watch again, or at least if I watch it, I don't think it would be a completely different experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like actually, you know what? I would watch it again because of I know what the ending is. I know the twist because like I remember they sprinkled in a lot of clues throughout the beginning, the first half of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting to watch that again. But like I don't know, it's something about I love those like mystery whodunit movies. So this hits all the right marks. It's got James Bond in it too.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Like they play flashbacks a lot in the movie, and often they go back and show that flashback from another person's perspective, and it kind of puts a new spin on it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's any of those where they don't blatantly show you why it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd like to go back and watch it again to see if there's any more of those. Anything I missed. Yeah, I like Knives Out a lot. Next one on my list is Booksmart.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
So Booksmart is a story about these two girls who were graduating high school. And basically when they entered high school, they made a pact with each other that they weren't going to party because they wanted to concentrate on studying so that they could get the best grades possible, so they could get into the best schools possible, so that they could live the best life possible and get everything that they had their dreams set on as when they were grade 9 or whatever.
Pretty solid.
And so anyway, it's the last day of school and they find out they got into the schools they wanted to get into, but so did everybody else, and everybody else partied the entire time. And so now they're like pissed. And so it's basically they're trying to find a party for their last night of school. So I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting. It's kind of like I've heard described as the spiritual sequel to Superbad.
Oh, cool.
So it's
actually, I kind of got that vibe from it when I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, it's kind of similar in that regard. That although like the characters are completely original and stuff like that, and it's nothing that's gonna like it doesn't break the mold or anything like that. It kind of falls into certain tropes and stuff like that. But the two leads are just so good and likable, and they seem to have like a genuine friendship like off screen as well.
Who are the actresses for it?
I couldn't tell you. One of them is Jonah Hill's sister, and then the other one I've only seen her on a Tim Allen sitcom. So like they're fairly young, so I don't know who they are.
Gotcha.
And the one thing I really liked about it, it's just like one little tiny thing, is that there's a love scene in it, and it's really awkward, but it's not like awkward for laughs. It's like in a very sincere kind of realistic way.
Cool.
Like there's a point where they have to like stop and untie their shoes because they can't kick off their shoes. Like it's like something like, you know, that feels genuine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked.
So they stepped away from like awkward for laughs, like your typical comedy, and kind of made it more kind of pulled back from it, but still keeping the awkwardness.
A little.
Does that make sense?
I mean, it's just for that particular scene, like it felt very real.
I always hate when they do that. They just like kind of make a scene overly goofy just for.
I mean. Well, maybe you won't like this movie. I don't know. There's some characters who are overly goofy.
I remember seeing a chunk of it. I can't remember where I saw it. You know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Yeah. So I really liked that movie. So it was Booksmart. And written and directed by Olivia Wilde, who is known for acting.
Another one of my celebrity crushes.
Ooh. Okay. You got one?
This is the last one on not really something that would make it onto the top 3 on my list, but like it's like a recommendation. Comedian Bill Burr's stand-up Paper Tiger. Okay. Huge fan of Bill Burr. I'm sure in case you didn't notice. I think this might be like one of his funnier specials on Netflix. I don't know what else was to say about it. It's good material. Typical angry white redhead.
As opposed to the black redhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those ones scare me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Okay.
Just a recommendation for all you listeners if you like comedies.
I feel like I've watched that because I tend to check out some of the bigger people's specials when they come out, but I feel like I went to watch it and then ended up watching one of his older ones. Anyway, whatever. I heard it's good.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. I just got a few more. I'll just throw through real quick. Toy Story 4. I really liked it. Just Pixar again. Like they're just so great at having something literal happening, but there's like a metaphor to the movie that just, you know, it just kind of hits you, especially when I feel like most of the animators and storytellers at Pixar are like closer to my age now. And so they tend to end up talking about things that are going on in my life. And I'm just like, oh no. And just
makes sense.
Niagara Falls.
Falls. Yeah, I remember. I think the last half of Toy Story 4. I don't know why.
Where are you that you're watching bits and pieces of movies?
I don't know. I go to like friends' houses and then like they have it on in the background and I'm like, all right, well, it's on. Guess I'm watching it while I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it hits you in the feels. I really didn't expect it to. I had no interest in going to see it in the theater.
I totally expected it to be like an unnecessary sequel, but like it was good.
It was good. And it was a nice farewell to certain characters. And like even more so than the last movie was, which felt like a very final farewell. But
to all of them.
Yeah. And this one was great. So I really liked it. Ford v Ferrari. Another one I saw.
Oh, I totally thought that would have been on your top 3.
It was very close to being on my top 3.
Wow. Setting the bar high.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just a really enjoyable movie just to sit down and watch. It kind of reminds me of The Social Network in the sense of just like, you can just watch it and you're just like, I'm loving every minute of this. Like, it's just one of those movies. You just feel good throughout it.
Interesting.
Performances are great. Matt Damon and Christian Bale. Their chemistry is fantastic. And it's just an interesting story. It's like one of those fun ones where like I have no interest in cars. What kind of car do I have, Victor? A silver car.
Are you kidding me?
I have no interest in cars, but I'm interested while I'm watching it.
I mean, that's something like you're not like, you don't have to be interested in the topic. If the movie's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But is it weird that like I've avoided seeing it because the caliber of actors in it?
That is weird. You're
I'm intimidated to watch it.
No, it's really enjoyable. And it's nice to have like 2 main characters who really love each other and like have that friendship that's not bro-y and then has that like forced conflict or whatever. Like, cause there's definitely conflict between them at times, but you can tell they still like each other despite the conflict.
I'm surprised we didn't review that movie.
Maybe we will.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'll watch it one of these days.
Yeah. Anyway. And the last one, season 1 of Watchmen.
Oh yeah. That's not on the list. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm a fan of the Watchmen comic.
This takes place right after the comics end, right? It has nothing to do with the movies. The first movie, the original movie. I don't know how many movies there are.
It is a sequel to the comic, not the movie.
Gotcha.
So like the ending is changed between the movie and the comic.
Yeah,
they follow the comic.
Cool.
And it's not right after because the comic was in the 80s. This takes place 2019.
Oh, so it's like 30 years.
Yeah,
40 years. Whatever.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because it has new, interesting characters, new original characters, and it finds a way to like interweave some of the older characters into it. And it doesn't ever feel forced. It feels like they're important to the story. It doesn't feel like, well, that guy was really popular in the comics, so let's throw him in.
Here's a cameo.
Yeah. And it's just really like phenomenal storytelling, Victor. Like I have this thing where I watch stuff. If it's out of chronological order, I try to put it into chronological order. Like in my head, I re-edit it to put it in chronological order. There's some episodes where it's like, no, this is better the way it is, like where it's jumping back and forth between times and stuff. And some really phenomenal episodes. Yeah, really extremely well written. I can't recommend it enough. It's great.
Damn, that's a high recommendation for you.
Yeah. And to even put it even higher, I had no interest in watching this show. And I finally, like, I think the marketing and just word of mouth wore me down. I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch all of this.
How many episodes is it?
9.
And this is Amazon Prime?
HBO.
So Crave?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more runners?
No, I think that was it. Do you want to, I've been talking for a while. Do you want to do your first top
first
3?
One. Actually,
So are you doing it? Are we doing it now? Like, this is number 3. The next one will be number 2.
Yes. I was originally going to be like, I don't really have any order, but like, honestly, I think I do have a preference for like, yeah.
Okay.
These aren't necessarily the best movies or shows I've seen this year. These are just the ones that like I've enjoyed watching the most. But number 3 on the list is The Witcher.
Oh.
And if you like dealing with timelines and putting things in chronological order and trying to figure it out, this show might be for you. I don't know. It follows 3 characters, Ciri, Geralt, and Yennefer. But they like.
I feel like those are all regular names that you've just mispronounced.
You mean
How much gin have you
Jennifer? But like the story takes place. I didn't realize until like the third episode that like each character is in a different timeline.
Ooh.
Like it's like as they progress,
time span.
Yeah, like Siri is in the present time. I don't want to spoil it, but like Siri's in the present time.
But here I go.
But like the rest of them, I got it based on like the what the characters are talking about. Like it probably spans like 100 years.
Oh, okay, so they never interact with each other then?
No, they do.
What?
So you find out that like sorceresses and witchers, they live a long time, a very long time. Yes.
I thought a witcher was like a job.
It's kind of like a mutant.
Oh, okay.
Like I've never read the books. I've never played the games. But after watching the show, I bought the first book and I'm starting playing through the third game.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I played the first game.
You just said you've never played the games.
Yeah.
So all the way through, you mean?
No, I've never played them.
But you just said I played the first game and it was unplayable.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. After watching the show, I started going back. My roommate has Witcher 3, and I heard it's the best one. It's the most modern one. Witcher number 1 came on the PC like ages ago, and picture Diablo, but like third person. You're still clicking. And the comment says it's just a poorly aged game. I'm sure it was good at the time when it came out, but I can't play it.
Okay.
Henry Cavill plays Geralt, the main character of The Witcher. And apparently he's like a huge fan of the series. He's played the games like a bunch of times and then got him involved in like reading all the books. And like, I think I appreciate it a lot more because like this is an actor that knows like so much about the character that he's playing and is a fan as well. And like it definitely shows in his performance. So yeah, overall great show. I recommend it. And like, it might be because like I don't watch a lot of fantasy, you know? So I think when I come across like a good one, it gets me pretty excited. Yeah.
Okay.
People compare it to like Game of Thrones. I don't think it really is. I think it's pretty different, but quality wise, it's the same, I think.
There's a lot more magic in it, right? Than Game of Thrones.
Yeah. There's a lot of monsters in it, which is kind of cool. Like I think
Game of Thrones is supposed to feel like it could be the history of our world, right? There's dragons.
To an extent. And then you start getting into like the White Walkers and the dragons.
Right.
But like The Witcher, it brings in monsters that like you're not typically used to. Like I have no idea what a Striga is until watching the show. They have like dragons in it, but like it's not very common. There's a lot of like monsters from other backgrounds. I want to say Polish.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Victor, I'm not going to watch that, but good. Not because you recommended it. I can't really get into fantasy that much. I don't know. I have to have some sort of connection to it beforehand.
It's
I can't
Henry
just jump
freaking
in.
Cavill.
Don't care. I don't care how many push-ups he does.
He's
probably
naked
not
in the
going to watch
bathtub
it.
at one point.
What? Yep. Oh no, I'm
Sold.
in.
Nice. What were you? Are you doing number 3, 2, 1? Or are you guys?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. So number 3 is Marriage Story.
Oh, that's one with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
So basically what Marriage Story is, it's about a couple who have decided to get a divorce, and it just kind of follows them as they go through it. It's more just like a character piece. It can be slow at times.
Not a bad thing.
That's kind of par for the course with that type of movie. And the performances are just like amazing. Like I would not be surprised if either of them picks up nominations for their acting. And the crazy thing is they are not improvising whatsoever. This is everything is written in it. It feels so genuine though. And it's just the way they talk. It feels so natural. It feels like it's coming from the characters and a little bit from the actors. But apparently it's all written. There was no improvisation. Adam Driver is great in it. Like I have a few friends who are on the fence of Adam Driver. I'd say watch this movie. Like he's great in it. Scarlett Johansson, I feel like Scarlett Johansson is completely underrated. She tends to like, I think because she does all the action movies and like superhero movies and stuff like that, people like are just like, yeah, she's not a good actress.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. This is probably her best performance that I've seen her in.
Oh, damn.
Like she's just great in it. And it's an interesting story because they started off in a place of being very like they're just kind of both on board with a divorce. They have their own like they're on the same page of what's going to happen. And then all it just takes is one person to be like, well, maybe you should see a lawyer to handle this. And then it just escalates from there and to the point where they're screaming at each other. And like, it just shows how awful it is to get a divorce and how messy it can be, especially when you have kids. And yeah, it's, sometimes it's not fun, but it's at the same time, there are moments of just levity when you're not expecting it. And yeah, it sounds like it's a real like tearjerker, but like it's very funny at times as well. And yeah, again, like can't praise Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver enough in it. Like they're both phenomenal.
Can you imagine getting a divorce from Scarlett Johansson or like Adam Driver?
There's like 4 people on this planet who've already divorced Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You know who's one of them, Victor?
Who?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wow. I can put her off the board then. Clearly something's wrong there.
She's about to marry the guy from Saturday Night Live, the Weekend Update guy.
I clearly don't know, man.
Colin something.
Farrell.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, so that's my number 3 Marriage Story. It's on Netflix. You can check it out right now if you want to.
Add that to the list.
And I recommend it highly.
Well, I will likely watch that at some point, unlike you, who hate good things.
I just know what I like, and I know what it's going to be a waste of my time. Because I won't like it, not because it's not good.
You should like better things, Josh. All right. Well, my number 2, actually, I'd be surprised if this wasn't on your list either. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Nope.
No? What?
Nope, not on my list.
Oh.
Okay,
it's depressing.
Tell me why, Victor.
It's Hobbs and Shaw. It's Fast and Furious.
Not good enough reason for me.
We reviewed the movie. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's a movie where I turn my brain off. You like that, Josh?
Nope.
No, it's just a very entertaining movie. You know, I'm not forced to think. There's definitely flaws with this movie. There's a lot of like teleportation that happens with characters, a lot of time jumps that don't make sense.
A lot of running clocks that just
go on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we have 24 hours to do this, but you know, this flight's going to take 12 and all this is probably going to take 12. So
yeah. Or like, we need to fix this prototype machine that's really high tech. Let's go to the best mechanic I know.
But like, it's goofy. It's funny. It's a lot of testosterone in this movie. It's got The Rock, Jason Statham. I don't know,
I didn't dislike this movie, but it's definitely not one of my favorite from the year.
Oh man. I was excited to watch it again, and it was just as enjoyable, if not more enjoyable, the second time around.
Okay.
I got a bit of range on mine. Yeah, I don't know. The performances are exactly what you expect, and it's exactly what you expect from a Fast and Furious movie. And if you're looking for that kind of thing, it 100% delivers, you know?
Plus, it's got Black Superman.
It's got Black Superman.
All right.
Yeah, that's number 2.
Okay.
It's definitely a lot less interesting compared to what you were talking about. But.
Well, my number 2, Victor, I'm curious. I wonder if it's your number 1, but we'll find out, I guess. It's Avengers Endgame.
Oh, no, it's not.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. I'm excited to hear your number 1 then. Number 2 is Avengers Endgame. So
makes sense.
It's just like, do I really need to explain myself? Like, it's a great movie.
This is the issue I had with Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. What do you say?
Well, yeah, like it's just extremely well written. I guess like we could compare it to Rise of Skywalker, because that was also a finale of sorts. And it's just everything that Rise of Skywalker didn't do well, Avengers Endgame did extremely well.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they had these fan moments that people have been waiting for years, it felt organic. It actually felt like it would actually happen in the scene, didn't feel contrived. You know, it was worth the wait for some moments. And I love that they like had set up in Infinity War. They kind of got their big team up movie out of the way in Infinity War, so they could once again concentrate on these 6 characters and really dive in. Scarlett Johansson's in this one as well.
Oh shit.
And she's great at, like, again, she has lots of moments. Like one of my favorite scenes in the movie where I'm just like, why isn't she nominated for more stuff, is when she's eating and crying. Like, you know how hard that is to do?
I don't know. I've done it quite a bit.
I mean, you're actually feeling those feelings. She's pretending to feel those feelings.
Right. I guess that's the difference.
And just yeah, so she's great. Chris Evans is great. It's like a proper send off to Iron Man and Captain America. It's really like they did it in an interesting way too. Like how these characters, if you look back at the start of their journeys in each of their respective solo movies, like seeing how they've evolved as characters and like how they've almost done it like a do-si-do of sorts on like their worldview. The fact that it was Iron Man who had to sacrifice himself to save everyone, and Captain America chose the selfish ending, and it works, and it doesn't feel like, well, no, that's not what that character would do. It's just great writing.
Yeah. Like Cap, I don't know. Like he always mentions that last dance, and like it was so nice to kind of see him get that dance finally. But it makes me so weird for Peggy to be like, why are you like 20 years older than like the last time I saw you?
Well, we can get into the geeky side of that,
but yes. But yeah, I agree. It did everything that The Rise of Skywalker didn't do. And like, it hit all the right notes at the right time in the right way.
It has so many different levels as well. Like it'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. Like it'll make you cheer. I don't want to talk about that. So like, it's just all around. It's just a great movie. And it's like the perfect finale for Marvel. And I think when we reviewed it, we talked about like, if they never made another Marvel movie, it would be fine. Like it's a great ending. So yeah, that's my number 2, Avengers Endgame.
Oh man, I'm wondering if our number 1's gonna be the same.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. You probably know my number 1.
I don't know your number 1. Tell me.
Wait, if I ask you to guess, you want to be able to guess it?
My brain is a little fried right now. I don't know if you noticed, I've been drinking some gin.
Yeah, that 50-50 mix was kind of ridiculous. Okay. My number 1 is The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like again, like I said, it's not the best thing I've seen this year, but like I think I was most excited for it every week, and I was very entertained by it every time. It's just a really well done show. You know, it's a Star Wars show, but like it doesn't take place in like a very grand epic story. You know, it's not forcing Star Wars lore down your throat. Performances are great in it. I loved all the characters. Well, maybe that last guy at the end, I think he was kind of cast weird, but like he's not really threatening as like a big bad for that episode. But
I don't think that's necessarily him. I think that's just how much time they spent on that character. But
yeah, I guess there's we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Or we already did, I guess.
Yeah, we already did. Oh yeah, we already did. Listen, it's the gin talking or not talking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like it was something I look forward to. I don't know. Like, you know what? That's one thing that Disney Plus maybe got right. I don't know if I would have been as excited for the show if I didn't have to wait weekly for it. Yeah. And as irritating as that is, it kind of made a lot of like opportunities for like me and my friends to get together and watch it. So yeah, I don't know. Like I love the Mandalorian as a character, and like the worlds they kind of took place on were kind of interesting and cool. And like, it wasn't typical Star Wars where like, this is a lava planet. This is only lava. There's nothing else. This is a sand planet. There's nothing else but sand. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It was just interesting overall. And
well, I'd say, I don't think I mentioned it last week when we talked about it, but like, I loved that the fate of the galaxy was never in his hands.
It's not like an epic. It's not an epic.
No, it's
just a guy trying to survive with his adopted son.
Yeah.
Who can do some cool stuff with his hands.
Like, I don't think it does take place at the same time, but this could easily take place while Rey is off fighting Palpatine.
Yeah.
Because he just would not be involved in that.
There were rumors that he was going to show up in The Last Jedi for some reason.
In The Last Jedi? You mean Rise of Skywalker?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for season 2. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm surprised that wasn't on your list at all. Anywhere.
I liked it fine. It was just it was just no Watchmen, Victor.
That rounds off my list. You got some fantasy, you got some sci-fi,
I got some
dudes.
satire.
Oh,
for you. My number 1 movie is Jojo Rabbit.
What? Caught me off guard.
Have you heard of this movie?
I have. I honestly I've seen one trailer for it, and that's it.
Okay, so this is written and directed by Taika Waititi.
Oh, this makes sense. This is starting to make more sense now. All right.
So this is about a young boy, probably, I think he's 11, in the Hitler Youth during World War II. And it starts off as a movie that is just making fun of Nazis and how ridiculous they were and their belief system. Like, this kid is going to camp to learn how to be a better Nazi. And they're like having seminars where they're asking kids to describe what Jews look like. And they're like drawing monsters and stuff like that and like giving them tails and all this stuff. And it starts off that way. His imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler, played by Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I'm looking at the poster for it. That's ridiculous.
Which is great. And Scarlett Johansson's in this one too.
She is. Is that Brad Pitt? No, that's not. This is a really low resolution poster.
Sam Rockwell.
I like the fact that you just point. You don't even see the poster I'm looking at.
He's the only one who vaguely looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I guess so.
Who was in the movie.
Fair.
But Sam Rockwell's also in it. Stephen Merchant. Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
One of the few movies I can stand her in. But it's really well written. Again, as I said, it starts off as a satire, but I was going to say that Taika Waititi is underrated, but he's kind of starting to get the praise he deserves.
Yeah.
Like Thor Ragnarok is probably one of his worst movies, I'll say. And it's not even bad. That's what I'm saying.
That's like bottom of his list, right?
Yeah. And he is very phenomenal at like taking you along on an insane, hilarious journey. And then with one shot, he can change the way you perceive characters and just like hit you with an emotion where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Like with his first movie, Boy, like there's a character you kind of don't like for the majority of the movie. And just with one shot, you learn everything about him. And you suddenly are on his side and you're like, oh, that's why he's such a douche. And so Taika Waititi is a very talented filmmaker and also like a comedic genius. So this movie, it follows this young boy named Jojo and his imaginary friend Adolf Hitler. And he finds out that his mom, Scarlett Johansson, is hiding a Jew in their wall. And so he decides...
Like a live Jew?
Yes. Jewish person. I gotta get out of the habit of just saying Jew.
Yeah, I gotta stop.
It's hard, man. The entire movie, they're just like the Jews. We've got to kill all the Jews. That's what they said throughout the entire movie. Anyway, and again, Taika Waititi, such a brilliant writer. He's exceptionally brilliant at writing children. Like he is very good at making kids feel genuine and their age, where I guess they have kid logic where someone can easily trick them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where they can explain something and you're like, of course that's how it works in his head. You know, like that makes, I totally get why he thinks that, but as an adult, I can be like, oh, silly child. Like that's not how the world works. And so he thinks he would get in trouble if they found out if the Jew is there. So he can't report her, even though that would be the thing to do if you were a true Nazi. Yeah. And so he decides instead to write a book on Jews. And so he gets all this information about her. But at the same time, she's very clever because she's like 16 or something like that. And so she's like telling him all these lies about Jews and he's writing down in his book. And it's just kind of like about their relationship as well. And so it's kind of, he starts off as this like Hitler loving Nazi. And slowly as the movie progresses, like he starts to see Jewish people as people. And like he starts, you know, realizing that maybe Nazis aren't what they say they are. And Sam Rockwell is great in the movie.
Who's he play?
He's this military leader, but basically he was injured in the war, so he can't actually be in combat. So he's in charge of training the children.
Of course,
and he's
makes
like,
sense.
It's one of those Sam Rockwell characters where he's just kind of funny, but he has this relationship with his kid where it's like really genuine, and you're like, oh, what a sweetheart. Like,
does he dance?
I don't think he does.
Oh, all right.
Which usually spells disaster for a movie that he's in.
100%.
Yeah, but I don't think he dances in this one. Yeah, he's a great character. Stephen Merchant plays one of the Nazi. He's like one of the SS. That's what they're called. And Scarlett Johansson plays his mom, and she is hilarious in this. She has this bit in it one time where he's yelling at her because he wants to see his dad. His dad's off fighting in the war. And so she says, you want to see your dad? And then she like walks off and comes back in dressed up as his dad and has an entire scene where she plays his dad while also talking to herself as the wife So she's playing both the father and the mother at the same time while talking to the son. It's brilliant. It's hilarious. And
interesting.
Anyway, I really like Jojo Rabbit for the comedy in it. But again, as I said, there's a point in it where you really start seeing the characters in a different way. And it really hits you right in the feels.
Your left breast?
You're a little towards the sternum, a little bit more. But under that.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed it and I can't recommend it enough.
All right, cool. Well, that's the list.
Yeah. So see it.
I'm still going through the list you gave me last year of 2 movies.
All my movies had Scarlett Johansson in them.
Yeah.
She's having a year.
I'm starting to think you just had a theme going on.
A little bit. That's really why Ford v Ferrari didn't make it. She's not in that one. No, she was just in good movies this year.
The ones that counted?
Yeah. And I mean, she's a great actress. Not really sure how I feel about her in real life as far as who she actually is, but
well, Ryan Reynolds said no to her, so clearly something's wrong there.
So yeah, those are my top 3, Victor. Should we just quickly go through what we're excited about this upcoming year?
Yeah, sure. I get the feeling our list is going to be pretty similar.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm going through chronological order, but
okay. I just have randomly. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll start first because my first one's in January. I think it comes out this week. Underwater with Kristen Stewart.
Oh yes, that dark fish movie or something.
Yeah, they're in like the Marianas Trench. They got to go from. I think they're like underwater research facility or secret base is failing,
as it always does.
Mm-hmm. So they have to do the spacewalks, underwater walk from point A to point B for some reason.
I feel like that's just a sequence in it, but yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just basing this off the trailer.
I don't imagine the entire movie would be that.
Yeah, there's just
TJ Miller in it.
Yes,
haven't seen him and stuff in a while. Yeah, he had that freak out.
What was a freak out?
Well, he got fired from a lot of stuff. I think he was one of the Me Too people.
Oh yeah. He did something kind of stupid,
and then he called in a bomb threat on a lady on a train.
What?
Yeah.
Look at that bombshell over there. I'm gonna call 911.
Yeah, I don't know. He had some issues, but I actually kind of wonder if this was filmed like 3 years ago and now it's finally coming out.
But yeah, January movie. I'm excited.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm excited for these. I have no idea. They could be complete trash, but it just look interesting. Like this concept just looks interesting to me.
Yeah.
So water freaks me out more so than space for some reason. So that's on their list for that reason.
Okay. Underwater. All right. I'll do Last Night in Soho. That's Edgar Wright's next movie he's doing.
Oh, okay.
So it takes place in the 60s. I think it's a horror movie.
Oh, that's cool. Edgar Wright
I
horror.
think that's what I've heard. But anyway, I like Edgar Wright a lot. I'm always excited to see what he's doing next. He's done like anytime he does a movie, it's always original. So it's
interesting.
Yeah. So I'll be excited to see what it is.
When's that come out?
I don't know. Sometime this year.
This doesn't matter. We haven't seen a trailer for it, so probably far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next on list for me, Colorado Space. That's I think coming out in late January, early February. It's a Nicolas Cage based off the
H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, based off the H.P. Lovecraft story. It's a short little story. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna drag that out into a 2-hour movie.
Have you read it?
A long time ago, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have like the H.P. Lovecraft like collection with all his short stories.
That's Cthulhu, right?
Yeah, he's got Cthulhu in there, and
okay.
Yeah, Colorado Space is like one of his like more famous ones. So
okay. It's the color purple.
It's kind of pinkish. It's undescribable.
I've never seen this color before.
Also, I kind of hate that about his writing. A lot of things are he describes things it's like it's undescribable. And it's like
that just seems lazy.
It just seems like you don't know what you're talking about. But okay, let's move on.
Seems lazy. Okay. Keep it in the Scarlett Johansson camp. Black Widow. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. I think as we talked about when the trailer came out, both of us were like, yeah, I'll see it. But when the trailer came out, we're like, oh, I'm definitely seeing this.
It amped it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taskmaster too. I don't know.
And like freaking, what's his name? Is Red Guardian?
Yeah.
Stranger Things. David Harbour.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. He looks good at it. Rachel
Solid.
Weisz, like, come on. It just looks like Winter Soldier meets Bourne Identity, which is
Starring Scarlett Johansson.
yeah.
007, No Time to Die.
Okay.
Well, this last Daniel Craig James Bond, assuming that for some reason he doesn't sign on for another one. I think by contract this might be his last one anyway.
I think he has said it's his last one.
Mm-hmm. It looks good. He's retired as 007. I think he's not 007 anymore. I think they gave 007 to someone else, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's the chick from Captain Marvel, right?
Sure, let's go with that. I don't remember.
The former pilot or whatever.
Yeah,
not Brie Larson. The other chick.
Yeah. Don't
Monica Rambeau.
That sounds right. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Pretty pumped. I think that's March.
Okay, I'd see that, but yeah, I'm not so much pumped for them. I think we talked about it, but like James Bond has it always kind of copies what's popular in those like action spy movies of the time, and it hasn't really done anything original in a long time.
Yeah, it hasn't. Yeah,
I'm not.
That's fair.
And I don't really like James Bond as a character. Don't at me. Bill and Ted Face the Music.
That makes sense.
I'm pretty pumped for that. I think that this movie has been in development since before I was born. No, I'm not that old, or I'm not that young. But anyway, it's been around for a while. And so I'm excited. It's got the same writers from the first two coming back. I love that Bill and Ted 2 is completely different from Bill and Ted 1. And because it's the same writers, that encourages me that this will be its own thing as well. And will actually like follow the characters and not just rehash the first one because that's what was popular and that's what the studio wants. So we'll see. Keanu Reeves is like the only big name attached to it. Like the directors. Yeah. The last movie the director did was Galaxy Quest. And
I remember that.
And like, I don't think those writers have been really working that much. So
good.
It's not, I don't know what's going to happen if there's lots of pushback from the studio, but we'll find out. So,
and it's the first time you see Keanu Reeves without a beard in a really long time.
Did he not have a beard in Always Be My Maybe?
Nope, he had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was very close to being on my list for favorite of the year. I really liked Always Be My Maybe.
I still haven't seen it, but like it's on my list. It's higher up than most movies.
Yeah.
Near the top 5. It's a big list.
Top 5 of almost being on your list.
No, top 5 of the movies I have to watch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That would be a terrible list. Fast and Furious 9.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's in this one?
I guess it's Vin Diesel.
John Cena. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No trailer
Michelle Rodriguez.
Pumped about it. What?
Michelle Rodriguez.
She's still in it?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Tyrese Gibson.
Oh, come on.
But John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena.
It's just one of those movies that's it's just you go to the theaters and you just enjoy yourself.
There you go.
And turn your brain off.
No. I like to think. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
I'm pretty pumped for that. Actually, again, it's just like Bill and Ted where it looks like it's a sequel, but it's doing its own thing. And yeah, it looks like it tried very hard to not just bank on nostalgia in the trailer, which I was a big fan of. Yeah,
that was a nice change.
It seems like it has the same tone of the original, which was it's not an all-out comedy. It's an action movie where the characters are really funny in it. So yeah, I hope that's the case.
Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
Next one on my list, Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
Ooh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Coming back. The old Maverick seat.
Is that the only Tom Cruise movie this year? I guess it is.
At least on my list.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah. Tom Cruise flying a jet plane. But
Tom Cruise, such a crazy person. His ego's cashing checks his body can't cash. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that means.
I read Top Gun reference. Come on.
It's been a while. We recently watched an interview with, I guess, all the cast of Mission Impossible Fallout, talking about how it's like working with Tom Cruise. And he just sounds like an awesome dude to work with. He's just lots of laughs, but like he's serious when he needs to be, especially when it comes to like safety and all that stuff. But on the other hand, like he just like flips that switch.
Yeah.
In an instant. Like,
I heard he's like, when you talk to him, he's incredibly focused on you and only you.
Yeah. I have friends like that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And just imagine it's Tom Cruise, like this little tiny man looking up at you being like, yeah.
I think we're the same height. But thank you. Unnecessary insult, but okay. Moving on. What's yours?
The Last Duel. This is a movie that has been written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They haven't written a movie together since Good Will Hunting.
Whoa.
And Ridley Scott is directing it.
That's crazy.
I have no idea what it's about.
The duo, man.
But they're going to star in it as well. And
it's about those two, the duo.
Yeah. And it's the last duel, not duo.
I knew that.
They're going to duel each other.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah.
That should be fun. It's like a subtle adaptation of Fortnite. And they're the last two on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Sorry, I was trying to think of a joke. I was just brushing you off.
And there's the joke.
Okay.
Ooh, it's probably not on your list, but The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Okay, I can see why you would be pumped for that.
I have no idea what it's about. A sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Sam Jack's son. Yeah. It's a good duo. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2020. Number 2.
Okay. Eternals. Marvel's Eternals.
Oh, that was on my list for some reason. Weird. Oh, wait, no, it is never.
Like, the more I hear about this movie, the more I'm excited about it because it sounds like it's nothing Marvel has ever done before.
Do you see the concept art they were started really revealing about it?
Right. Yeah. Like
it
these
looks
giant celestials.
Yeah.
Are like
maybe
huge compared to planets.
And if you don't know, it's that like one of the celestials' head is in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's nowhere where they go to.
That's the head of the celestial. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. It'd be cool if like they gave you the background of how that head ended there.
I don't know if I need it.
It'd be cool.
Like that to me is like Solo territory where they're like, this is how he got his gun and his vest. And you know what I mean?
Okay. I didn't see Solo because I didn't care for any of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I don't need to know that. Like, yeah, yeah. All I know is it's there. I like that idea. Like that's all the connection I need. But yeah, the more I hear about this movie, the more I'm excited about it. I mean, it's got one of my favorite comedians, Kumail Nanjiani, in it.
Ooh.
I mean, just the fact that they have Angelina Jolie in it, it's one of those gets where you're like, oh, this must be a really interesting movie to attract her.
She hasn't been in a lot.
I guess she's in the Maleficent movies, which are like, I haven't seen either of them, but they don't look all that interesting to me. So
I saw the first one.
It's just fine.
I would have been fine not seeing it.
Okay.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
But yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, it just seems like it's nothing they've ever done. It's like it apparently takes place over like 7,000 years or something.
Oh, jeez.
So and plus I'm like a continuity whore, so I will love like getting little tidbits of like this is what the universe was at in 17 BC and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I'm pumped for it. Probably not as much as Black Widow, or it's a lot of the other Marvel movies that are coming out, but not this year.
Wait, when's Shang-Chi coming out?
February of next year.
Oh, come on. That's so far.
Victor, it's Shang-Chi. Come on.
No.
Get woke.
Oh my God. All right, I think this is the last one on my list.
Okay.
I'm kind of conflicted on this one. Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Tony Jaa, right?
Yeah.
And Mila Jovovich, who's going to ruin the movie.
So Monster Hunter, based off the video game that I love dearly. I was so pumped about it because like the first set photo of it had the hunter, Tony Jaa, suit up in like a very screen accurate outfit. Actually, I think that episode we talked about The Witcher being like very accurate to the character too, which is, yeah. But no, just pulling that out of my head.
You
But
remembered something.
Yeah, exactly. I was so excited about that. Yeah, I was so pumped about that movie when they first announced it and they showed that set photo. But then you kind of ruined it when you told me it was written by the same guys that did Resident Evil.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm curious.
Ultraviolet.
Oh man, that movie was terrible.
Yeah, and I think that's when I told you about the Mila Jovovich rule.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how great the movie looks or how good she's in it, like how good she is in it, the movie's gonna suck if she's in it.
That's not true for every movie, is it?
There's a few exceptions, but 95% of the time that is true.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, Victor, it's going to be terrible. And I can't wait to see the disappointment on your face.
We're going to watch that movie.
Oh,
we're going to review it.
Maybe. We'll see.
That's what you get for making me watch The Last Jedi again.
Wasn't that bad, Victor?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I have one movie left as well. Can you guess what my last movie is? You know it. You know it.
Is it Dune?
Yeah, it is. Cue the music. Dune is coming out this year, Victor, finally in December.
Oh, that far away.
So far away. I'm so pumped for this.
So I have time to watch the show. Is it show? Movies. Show.
There's no show. There's a mini series. It's all just based off of one book.
Oh,
So
okay.
you could read the book if you wanted. That's what
Actually?
I'm doing
Maybe I
right
will.
now.
Oh, that seems a little early.
Well, it's like 600 pages. I wasn't sure how much free time I'd have,
Fair.
but I'm like trucking through it.
50
I
page a
love it.
month? It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Dune is one of my favorite books I've read, I guess. I
Really?
read it. Well, I mean, I don't know about that actually, but it's one of the biggest books I've read when I was a little kid. I think I read it when I was in grade 8 or something, but
I'm going to need like a visual reference on how many 600 pages
it's like that.
Oh, okay.
But
Right.
I think the version I have has like appendices and stuff like that.
Okay. It's like Harry Potter in the fifth Harry Potter book almost.
Yeah. But yeah, like just the cast in this is amazing. Timothy Chalamet, Josh Brolin,
Kevin Bacon.
Stellan Skarsgård,
Yeah, I still can't say his
Zendaya.
name.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, really?
Dave Bautista.
Okay.
I
Fine.
mean, it's freaking Denis Villeneuve. He's going to knock it out of the park.
I have no idea who that is.
Did Blade Runner, Victor. Blade Runner 2049.
Oh.
Did Arrival.
Okay, fine. You know what? There's more excitement.
You're excited now.
There's more excitement.
You just realize how great it's going to be.
When I saw that on the list, I completely just like, nope. Not even going to mention that, Josh. Maybe he'll forget about it.
No, man, I'm so pumped for this. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see what they do with it. And yeah.
You better mark that on your calendar and make sure that like family stuff doesn't get in the way with Christmas and all that.
Oh, I will just ditch it. No, you know what? If it's my family, if it's my side, my dad will be down for that. Like he's a huge Dune fan. Like
really?
There's like 17 books. He's read all of them
There's
more than
17
once.
books.
So like Frank Herbert wrote the original.
Okay.
And then there's been a few it's one of those, it's the Lord of the Rings for sci-fi, basically. Like it's just that vast and there's so many
Star
characters.
Wars? That's the Lord of the Rings of sci-fi.
No, I'm just talking like literally, like as in literature.
There's a lot of like Star Wars books. There's a ton.
Just okay.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
so I just mean that like the characters in it
I'm
are
just
so
busting your
vast.
balls.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And so like there's all these like spin-off books where they like talk about people who were mentioned for, 3 chapters in the original or something, and they expand the entire story about where they were and how they got up and stuff. And
So I just looked up Dune, the book on Amazon.
yeah,
It's got 3,495 reviews. It's got 4.5 stars.
yeah,
Holy shit.
it's a great book. So anyway, highly recommend the book, and I'm so pumped to watch this new version because it's done by one of my favorite directors. It has lots of my favorite actors in it. And yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Damn.
Hans Zimmer's doing the score, Victor. Come on.
People say like that doesn't sell a movie for me. Like, yeah, he's got good stuff, but like, I don't care if he's in a movie or not.
All right.
All right. That wraps up end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
A longer episode. Thank you for sticking with us. If you did,
appreciate it.
If you didn't, well, you missed out. Probably.
Dumbass.
No, you're probably better off.
But let us know in the comments. What was your highlight of 2019 and what you're looking forward to for 2020?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's been another episode. I'll talk to you next week.
Where can they reach us, Victor?
Oh, you can contact us directly at averageUninformed@gmail.com. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.